Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Arizona Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
On play action, Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. He'll have it. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Tackle made there by Robert Alford. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
On 2nd and 7, Winston. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And they had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. To throw, it's Murray. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
And a sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They go play action. Winston. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Receiver downfield, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. Screenplay, Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, Johnson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
9 yards the pick up there, and it's a first down. And that's the first connection, the number 1 overall pick in 2015, finding the number 7 pick in 2014 in Evans.
And what a great target Mike Evans is for Jameis Winston. Winston's a pretty accurate thrower, but that catch radius that Evans provides, that makes him that much more dangerous.
They go back to the ground, this time Barber. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it's putting together a team. A lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Now this is fielded in the end zone, so a change of possession here on the punt. Well, the Cardinals will take over at their 20-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half.
And this will be caught at the 30. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A first down and then some. 36 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken short. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. And that'll set them back 5. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Working out of the gun. Winston. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this instance,
and got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, Winston. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. The sack by Terrell Suggs. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive.
Because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those. To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. Gearing up to go again here on offense, Andre Ellington works his way back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. Mike Evans, he's going to go. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 64 yards, and the Bucs have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on first down is Murray. Flush to his right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk.
Pass interference. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Shotgun now from Murray. Man open right side. It's the tight end Clay. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Murray. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Gearing up to go again here on offense, Andre Ellington works his way back out there. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's outthink a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or two, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
And they're able to get this way down there inside the Tampa 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backward. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Christian Kirk from 17 yards out. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
This will be taken very short. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Jameis Winston and the rest of the Bucs set to begin this next drive. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I've given him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know? The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. This is taken at the 18. A big kick that time, 52 yards. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion. The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He gets it left side to Johnson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now Murray. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Hakeem Butler there. And now it's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This will be taken short. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Jameis to throw it. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. Jameis now on first down. He finds his target. It's Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. To throw again on second down. Winston. That's caught by Howard. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Winston now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Throwing on second and 14. Murray looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Logan. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Now that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Sort of interesting going with the draw play there. Do you like that call?
I don't, but it would be a lot more powerful coming from me if I'd said it before the play actually happened, if I'd first guessed it. But look, a draw in that situation, heavy risk reward. If he walks in, it looks like a great call, doesn't it?
Yeah, instead brings up a tough fourth down. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because...
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kyler Murray, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
On first and 10, Winston. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 30 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that,
taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Just Johnson, 34 yards. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field.
What we got?
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that...
He's got a man, complete. A huge play there for Arizona. 46 yards. Well, you said you would be very hesitant to throw the football there. They opted to do it. It worked.
I don't know why you listened to what I said. Because, obviously, I was way wrong on that one. Telepathically, though, you were sensing that I was thinking, maybe they should throw the ball.
Yeah. No, you really meant that they should have thrown it.
Yeah,
they did.
That's what I meant, even though I didn't say it.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to find Isabella. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turn. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. So out come the Bucs now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it, but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because, you know, the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it, just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
On third down, Winston. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter. Back now in Tampa. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know. If they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. And Winston lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
A big run there by Johnson. Give him 52 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to clear up their linebacker.
That's going to be caught by Kirk for a Cardinals touchdown. Christian Kirk with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken very short.
That's it, baby. You got work.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The catch made by Miller. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Byron Murphy, the first pick of the second round there defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And now let's look at David Johnson. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there'll be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a second down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the gun on third down, Murray.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll go for it with Edmonds. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a give right side. Logan. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. T.J. Logan taking it in from the 20. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken short. Shape as they get it up past the 30. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Winston. He hits his target, left side, Watson. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Let's go.
A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not that. He came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Murray, buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run, deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. He may try and run for this. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Winston. Open man is got it. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Chandler Jones showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now Winston. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cameron Braid, a 9-yard touchdown there. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Oh, I think the Bucs got it, and they did. Tampa Bay football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They're in a great spot.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off around the 41. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. To throw is Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll throw again. Winston. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
After each game, a player...
Oh, this is blocked. The Cardinals pick it up, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Tampa.